Welcome back, YouTubers, to another NXT review with me, Mr. Parkin, on behalf of the British Fist. Some of you out there, maybe you're not, I don't know. Some of you maybe are wondering why I didn't do an NXT review last week. Well, the truth of the matter is I was away doing other things on the Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. And also I was ill as well, as you can probably tell from my hoarse voice. But I'm feeling a little bit better now, better enough to be able to get out there and do some kind of video giving my thoughts. This week, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to try and talk too much about these last two shows. I just really want to give my thoughts, general thoughts on what happens on the show and why I really wasn't into, or really why I didn't like these last two editions of NXT. I'm going to do last week's show and this week's show on the same video. If you have any comments or thoughts on last week's edition or this week's edition of NXT, please put them down in the comment section below. Feel free to argue with me as well if you want to, if you disagree with something that I say in this video. So let's get going. One of the main reasons I couldn't get into last week's show really was simply because of the amount of matches on the show and how short some of the matches were, really affecting the flow of the show for me, which just meant that I just couldn't, for the life of me, actually get into this show itself. I mean, we opened up the show with Baron Corbin defeating a jobber with one move, and, you know, this is understandable because it's opening the show. You want something fast to open the show. And also, it's part of Baron Corbin's stick that he's just plowing through these jobbers as quickly as he can. I do wonder, though, when they are actually going to put him in some kind of legitimate feud down the line. But for now, he's a new character. We're trying to make him look strong, quite similar to what they did with Ryback in the WWE at the start of 2012, I believe it was. And, you know, he's even got a Baron's gonna kill you chant, so he's getting over as well. So continue doing this for a little while, but sooner or later, you've got to get this guy into a feud, in my opinion. Becky Lita Lynch versus Charlotte. I don't know why we had this match. I mean, the match is fine, as it always is, but I'm just sitting there thinking, why should I bother watching this? You know, a good win for Charlotte, I guess, you know, as the champion, and they're spotlighting her, I guess, but, you know, it's just kind of pointless, in my opinion. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus Sylvester Lefort and Marcus Louise. You know, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy are an incredibly entertaining tag team, and that's all fine and good. You know, you had Lefort accidentally pulling the wig off Marcus Louise, leading to Marcus Louise snapping and pretty much kicking the shit out of Sylvester Lefort. I just wonder why these guys were really needed in a match for this. You know, why not have some kind of promo segment? Could you have not done something similar in the writing and done it as a promo segment rather than a match? You know, it's just, we have so many short matches on this show. Why don't we try to do something a little bit different? I'm just saying. And then straight after that, we had Carmella debuting and defeating Blue Pants Leyla Bates incredibly quickly. So they brought in Leyla Bates to do a job for Carmella. And to be honest with you, Carmella's debut, while it wasn't great, she did look strong in winning, and, you know, she's already had a great start with the character she's been given, the build-up she's been given, you know, with the backstage and the story she's been given as well. And also the people who she's associated with, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, are incredibly entertaining, so she's very easily going to get over. Not to mention the fact that she is pretty hot. I don't know, maybe she's not your type of girl, I don't know, but she's definitely my kind of girl. I just think she's hot. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Lucha Dragons versus Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. This is the first time we've seen the Lucha Dragons in a while, and Sin Cara won the match with the Sunset Flip Bomb. But once again, it was one of those matches that it was just there to give Lucha Dragons a momentum win, I guess, and, you know, it didn't really seem to have much of a point other than that. Wrestling was fine in it. It's just, once again, I'm sitting there thinking, what was the real purpose of this match? This show really needed a promo. When you have 6 or 7 matches on the show, and a lot of them being quite short, you need a promo. And we got that after the Baron Corbin segment. We had Sami Zayn coming out to quite an ovation, mind you. He is one of the top babyfaces and more over babyfaces on the roster. Basically comes out saying he's sick of losing and it's time for him to refocus for about the 50th time and become NXT champion. Only for Tyson Kidd, who got quite heavily booed as well, to come out, you know, even though he's a loser himself. And I guess what better way to prove yourself as a winner by beating a loser. So this obviously led to a match later in the evening between Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd, which we've seen many times before in the past. But, you know, Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd having this promo segment, you know, was something different. You know, it's something refreshing on the NXT show, especially when there's so many damn matches. So I would give that a plus. Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd. You know, like I said, I've seen this match a few times now, and these guys always go out there and have a good match. And Sami Zayn gets the win here, and I guess he's now on a Road to Redemption storyline, although really, it would have been more of a Road to Redemption if he beat a guy who, who wins a little bit, because usually Sami Zayn beats Tyson Kidd, and Tyson Kidd usually loses. So it's not really like you're beating a winner or anything, or a guy that really has anything to prove. You've already beaten him a few times. So, in my opinion, it was kind of a pointless Road to Redemption, really. It was a pointless start of the Road to Redemption. But there you go. So, I didn't really like this show too much. I mean, Sami Zayn and Tyson Kidd had a good match. There's good wrestling on the show. But there was a lot of things there I was thinking, man, that was too short, or that was too quick. This didn't really have too much point. So I was really hoping that the next week's show would give me something that, I would actually enjoy. Did it? Let's find out. So this week's edition of NXT started off with the Ascension in tag action, and not against jobbers, but against, well, sort of jobbers, Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger, a tag team who are known on the NXT roster, but haven't really won a match. Really, ever have they? The Ascension obviously got the win here. You had Hideo Itami coming out and pretty much running down to the ring and getting beaten like an idiot. Yeah, that's right, NXT. Send Hideo Itami out there and make him look like a fucking idiot by running out there and trying to beat up two men. Well done. That's a great way to really try and establish this Japanese character, WWE, making him look like a fucking idiot. And I've heard somewhere that Ty Dillinger is actually trying a Fandango-like dancing gimmick at NXT house shows, and I wonder where they're going to go with that. More importantly, are they going to split up this tag team? Because I feel like there's something there for Jason Jordan. I've always been a bit of an advocate of Jason Jordan ever since I saw him in SCW, I believe, in 2011, 2010. So I think he's got a good look about him, and I think he's one of those guys, maybe they should give him a little bit of a chance like they're doing with Baron Corbin. Just see if he can pick up the ball and run with it. We have CJ Parker versus Tyler Breeze, talk about directionless characters. We have CJ Parker, who's doing nothing. There's this Tyler Breeze, who's not really doing much. And then you have Mojo Rawley coming out there for no fucking reason, because he doesn't actually do anything, and Tyler Breeze wins. But Mojo Rawley doesn't do anything, so we go from making a babyface look stupid to having a babyface go out there and do something totally pointless. Now, I understand he had an injury, and probably the original writing was for him to go out there and maybe attack him, I don't know. But you send Mojo Rawley out there, he doesn't do anything. And it's just pointless, in my opinion. Why even send him out there if you weren't going to have him do anything? We have the Vaudevillains versus Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake. Seems like they're the tag team resident jobbers now. And the Vaudevillains, it looks like they're being positioned as the #1 contenders to the Lucha Dragons. I hope they have them interact at some point soon, because that seems like the next big tag team match. I will say this, though. NXT. There's no way you're going to get the Vaudevillains over as heels, no matter what you do to their music, no matter what you do to their characters, no matter what you do to their demeanor. They are entertaining. So people will always cheer them. You're not going to get these guys over as heels. They're always going to be baby faces. I mean, Simon Gotch alone is a reason to cheer the tag team. I'm just saying. But they're on the way, I believe, to facing the Lucha Dragons, possibly at the next TakeOver show, which I believe is happening in December. We have Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Bayley, again, like Sami Zayn on the last show, got a great reaction. Bayley got a very good reaction here as well. And this match was pretty decent. It seems to me like this is an unofficial #1 contenders match, I guess. So Sasha Banks won this, and I think Sasha Banks is the next, logical person to face Charlotte, as they seem to be turning Charlotte to the babyface side now, and Sasha Banks is obviously being heel. And it was interesting, yeah, you had Becky Lynch come out for the save, and I was just thinking, right, there we go, segment's going to end. And all of a sudden, she turns on Bayley, and last week they had or this week, I can't remember when it was, they had a little backstage segment between Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch talking about, looking in the mirror and everything. And it was just like, oh, so that one little talk from Sasha Banks has allowed Becky Lynch to turn heel all of a sudden? Really? It's just seemed to happen way too quick for me. I don't know, just way too quick. But, saying that, it does give a little bit of direction for the Becky Lynch character, which, let's face it, wasn't really doing much on the roster. But if she's going to be in this role as, I guess, Sasha Banks' new BFF, she's going to need to, A, improve her promos big time, because that backstage segment she did wasn't really that good. And B, she's going to have to improve her acting, because that acting in the backstage promo segment she did with Sasha Banks last week or this week, I can't remember when it was awful. So those are two things she's going to have to tone up on if she's going to be part of the role. Adrian Neville versus Titus O'Neil for the NXT Championship. I don't know why this became an NXT Championship match. I really do hate it when they just put a match out there with Adrian Neville. Oh, it's for the NXT Championship. No reason why Titus O'Neil would deserve this. You know, you've had these guys interact with each other for a few weeks. You know, more really Titus O'Neil, Sami Zayn. But I didn't mind seeing this match because it's something new for Adrian Neville. It's another obstacle for Adrian Neville in Titus O'Neil, who's a massive dude, to overcome. It was just something a little bit different for Adrian Neville than facing small guys his own size and doing a technical wrestling match. You know, I imagine a lot of guys out there found this match pretty boring because obviously Titus O'Neil wasn't doing the technical stuff, but I just thought it was good. It was something a little bit different. And it was just a bit more of a logical story to tell between two characters. You know, you got the massive heel versus the small, plucky, high-flying babyface. Sometimes they're the easiest stories to tell. And Adrian Neville gets the win here, as we should have expected, because it was for the NXT Championship. And Adrian Neville does something that Sami Zayn could not do. So I guess that's another notch in the chain of Adrian Neville there. So that was fine. So that would have been a good way to end the show. But you have Sami Zayn coming out and congratulating Adrian Neville on his title win. You know, fair dues. And he wants a shot at Adrian Neville's title. And Adrian Neville says, yep, we'll do it anytime, anywhere. Number one, I hope they save this for a big show, for a takeover or something, because I don't want to see this happen just on a normal NXT show. And number two, I'm sitting there thinking, you know, you've just started a Road to Redemption angle with Sami Zayn, and it just seems like, you know, he's gone 1 minute from doing a Road to Redemption angle to, oh, it seems like it's so easy now. I mean, you just have to go and ask the champion, and he's going to get his match. You know what? If I was writing the show, I'd have had Adrian Neville turn around to him and say, you have to fucking earn it. That's what I would have done. You know, just started this redemption angle last week. Last fucking week. It wasn't like it was months ago. It was last week. And all of a sudden, Sami Zayn's getting exactly what he wants. That's not really a redemption angle. I'm sorry, that's not a road to redemption. That's just silly. But, you know, he just goes out there and asks for a shot. And what's the point in the redemption storyline? You know, just saying. You guys may disagree with me because you're going to get a great match between Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn, but it's just kind of stupid in my opinion. I want to say this about Titus O'Neil, though. I think he would be a perfect top heel in NXT just because of his size and how different he is from all the other main eventers in NXT that are tiny and small and feel like an ROH main event scene. So I think Titus O'Neil would be the perfect top heel. I mean, you don't really have a top heel in NXT. I mean, you've got, I guess you have Tyler Breeze, who's not really doing anything right now. You got Tyson Kidd, who loses more than he wins, generally. Now you got Titus O'Neil. I know he lost to Adrian Neville, and you could have done some sort of DQ finish or something. You know, I don't know why he had to lose clean to Adrian Neville, but if it wasn't a title match, it would have been easier to book, in my opinion, but it had to be a title match for some reason. Titus O'Neil would just be the perfect top heel. I mean, what other heel is there in NXT, apart from maybe the fact that Adrian Neville is going to be more heel than Sami Zayn, you know, in the upcoming feud. NXT do need a top heel, and even if Titus O'Neil just works a couple of programs of Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn, which he kind of has done already, but more long-term feuds, you know, I'd say that would be a good thing for NXT. You know, he could be more legitimate, you know, on the main roster if he wasn't fighting bunnies. But there you go, that's WWE and what they do. So, like I said, I wasn't really into either of these shows all that much. I don't, you know, I've explained myself why. It just wasn't into it. Maybe it was because I was still a little bit ill. I don't know, but I give my reasons for it. And if you disagree with me, then you can, you know, comment in the comment section below, and I will respond to you, I guess, if I get time. So this has been my NXT review for this week's show and also last week's show. Any thoughts? Comment them down below. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, I will be back to normal next week. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye.